Hello and welcome back to April-May Codes. In today's video, I'm going to work on adding rain to the game and then planting and harvesting crops. I'm going to start by copying over a few assets that I'll need. So those will be the rain assets. I'll paste into the assets folder. And that just has our raindrops and the rain floor. And then I will need our soil. So I'll make a new directory for soil. And I'll paste the soil image and also the soil water. So those are just the images for when the soil's been watered, what'll be placed on top of the soil, which is this one. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. To start, I'm going to make a new file in sprites.py that'll be titled rain. A new file in sprites titled rain.py. We'll add it to Git. And we'll import Pygame. And we'll create a class rain, which doesn't inherit from anything. In it, we'll take self and all sprites. Self.allSprites is equal to all sprites. And we'll do self.raindrops is equal to import folder. And that is in assets/rain/raindrops. Or is it just drops? Just drops. So we'll import the import folder function from support. Then I'm going to copy that and paste it again. And this is going to be rain4. And that's assets/rain/floor. Self.floor width, self.floor height is equal to 4 times 48 and 36 times 38. All right, now we need a new class called drop, which inherits from generic. So we'll need to import that. And so we'll do init, which will take self, a surf, a pause, moving, groups, and a z. Then we'll do super dot init, which will take a pause, surf, groups, and a z. Self.lifetime is equal to randint between 400 and 500. So we'll need to import randint. Self.startTime is equal to pygame.time.getTicks. So when we create the drop, we'll get the ticks, and that will be the start time. This code comes from Clear Code's Stardew Valley inspired game tutorial. Self.surf is equal to a surf. Self.moving is equal to moving. And then if self.moving, self.pause is equal to pygame.math.vector2, self.rect.top left. And then we'll do self.direction is equal to pygame.math.vector2. And we'll do -2, 4. And self.speed is going to be a random integer between 200 and 250. So the raindrops will all have a different speed, or random speed. Then we'll give it an update function, which will take self and delta time. If self.moving, self.pause plus equals self.direction times self.speed times delta time. Self.rect.top left is equal to round self.pause.x and round self.pause.y. And then if pygame.time.getTicks minus self.startTime is greater than or equal to self.lifetime. So if its lifetime is up, basically, we'll do self.kill. That will kill the sprite. All right, now back in rain, we're going to add a create floor and a create drops function. So create floor will take self, and that will create a drop. Surf is equal to choice, which we'll need to import. Self.rain floor, so that will just choose one of the images from our rain floor. Misspelled that. Let's import choice. Pause is equal to rand int between 0 and self.floor width and rand int between 0 self.floor height. Moving is equal to false because for the rain floor we're not moving, that's just where the drops are landing. Groups is going to be self.allSprites. And then Z is equal to farm layers. We'll do config.farm layers rain floor. We're basically going to copy that and paste it here for create drops. And then that's going to be a choice from raindrops. Position is the same. Moving for that one is going to be equal to true. Groups is self.allSprites, and the layer is config.farmlayers raindrops. Let's import config. All right, and then finally, I don't know, there we go. We need an update function. This is just going to take self, and we're going to call self.createFloor and self.createDrops. All right, and that is all we need to do for rain.py. But to get the rain to actually show up in the game, we need to go to farm.py. And actually, we'll go to game.py first to check if our game is raining or not. So game.py is here. And in the init function, we're going to add self.raining is equal to randint between 0 and 10 is greater than 3. So a 70% chance that it'll be raining. I'm gonna change that to 30, I think, probably 30. Or it'll be different depending on the season. That's an issue for another video. I'm gonna change it to is greater than 7 once I confirm that it's working and everything. So let me import randint. All right. And then we'll go to farm.py. And right here in the beginning, we'll set self.rain is equal to the rain class that we created, self.allSprites. So we'll import rain. All right. And then self.raining. I guess, does it need self.raining? I don't think it does, because we can just do a self.gamemanager.game.raining. That's more code, but it's less to update. So I think I'll skip it for now. We'll add it if we need to. Then we'll come down to our update function, and we'll do if self.raining. Then we'll call self.rain. Oops, that needs to be a self.gamemanager.game.raining. And we'll call self.rain.update. All right, so we've got that added to farm.py, but now we need to stop the rain when the day is over, unless it's raining again the next day. So we're going to go to player.py, which is in sprites, down in our transition. And we're going to do self.game.raining is equal to randint 0, 10 is greater than 3. So we'll import randint. And that should reset the rain once we transition to a new day. So let me make sure that that's working. Oh, I broke something. Init requires a super object but received a tuple. In rain.py. Oh, I forgot. That? Was that it? Okay. And it's raining. That looks good. We've got our rain floor. The raindrops are coming down. So let's go to sleep and see if we can get a day that's not raining. Still raining. I set the chance of rain pretty high, so it's going to be pretty common. But there we go. Now it's not raining. Let's make sure it will start raining again. And it does. All right, that looks good. So now onto the soil layer. So I'm going to create a new file that's called soil.py. And that's going to go in sprites. We'll add it to Git. And we'll need choice. So from random, we'll import choice. We'll import Pygame. We'll do from game, import config. And from game.support, we'll import folder. That's all we'll need to start. So we'll create a class soil layer. Init will take self, all sprites, collision sprites, and farmable sprites. Most of this comes from ClearCode's Stardew Valley inspired game as well. I changed how I handle the farmable sprites. I created the farmable sprites class and basically changed how we detect if the soil is watered and tilled and everything, because I couldn't get it to work following the tutorial because I used a different size map and everything. So most of this is from his tutorial, but some of it is my original code as well. So we're going to do self.allSprites is equal to all sprites. Self.collision sprites is equal to collision sprites. And self.farmable sprites is equal to farmable sprites. Then we'll do self.soil sprites is equal to pygame.sprite.group. And then we want to do self.water sprites is equal to pygame.sprite.group. Self.water surfs is equal to import folder, and the path is assets/soil/soil water. So this just gets all the images from that soil water folder. Oops. Self.plant sprites is equal to pygame.sprite.group. And self.soil surf is equal to pygame.transform.scale, pygame.image.load, and then that is in assets/soil/soil.png. And the size for that is 48 by 48. Then we need to create a new class. So let's minimize this some, bring this over so it's easier to see. Called soil tile. And that is a pygame.sprite.sprite. So we'll do def init. We'll take self, a pause, surf, and groups. We'll do super.init. We'll take groups. Self.image is equal to surf. Self.rect is equal to self.image.getRect. And the top left is equal to pause. And self.z is equal to config.farmlayers soil. All right, let's go ahead and create our water tile, which is a pygame.sprite.sprite. Do def init. We'll take self, pause, surf, and groups. Basically doing the same thing here. We'll do super.init, which will take groups. Self.image is equal to surf. Self.rect is equal to pygame, self.image.getRect, top left, is equal to pause. And then self.z is equal to config.farm layers soil water. All right. So we've got our water tile and our soil tile. Now let's see. We can go ahead and start creating some functions in our soil layer class. So we'll do def till soil. We'll take self and target pause. So we'll do for sprite in self.farmable sprites.sprites. If sprite.rect.collide point target pause. So if the target position is on the farmable sprite, if not sprite.tilde, then we're going to create a soil tile with the position being sprite.rect.x, sprite.rect.y, self.soilsurf, and then the groups are self.allsprites and self.soilsprites. And then we'll set sprite.tilde equal to true. All right, so there's our till soil function. Now let's add a water soil function. We'll take self and target pause. And we're going to do for sprite in self.farmable sprites.sprites. If sprite.rect.collide point target pause. If sprite.tilde, because we only want to water it if it's tilled. And then if not sprite.watered, because we don't want to water it twice. Then surf is equal to pygame.transform.scale. And then we'll do choice of self.watersurfs. And the size is 48 by 48. We'll create a water tile. Position is sprite.rect.top left. Surf for the surf. Groups are self.allsprites and self.watersprites. And then we'll do sprite.watered is equal to true. And then we also need to do for sprite in self.plantsprites.sprites. If sprite.rect.collide point target pause. Then we'll set sprite.watered equal to true. Because we're watering our farmable sprites, but if there's a plant there, we need to set that plant.watered equal to true so that we can handle the grow function if it's going to grow if it's been watered. All right, let's add a water all function for when it's raining. Water all. We'll just take self and we'll do for sprite in self.farmable sprites.sprites. If not sprite.watered and sprite.tilled. So if it is tilled and it's not watered, then surf is equal to pygame.transform.scale choice self.watersurfs, and the size is 48 by 48. We'll create a water tile, which is sprite.rect.top-left. Surf, and then self.allSprites and self.watersprites for the groups. So this is basically the same thing, but when we water the soil with the watering can, we're going to check if the target pause collides with the sprite. When we water all the plants when it's raining, we're not checking for that. We're just checking if it's not watered and it is tilled, and then it's going to go ahead and get watered. So we'll set sprite.watered equal to true. And we're going to do for sprite in self.plantsprites.sprites, and we'll do sprite.watered is equal to true. All right, and then we want a remove water function. At the end of the day, we'll remove the water and start a new day. So for sprite in self.farmable sprites.sprites, if sprite.watered, then we're going to set sprite.watered equal to false. And then we'll do for sprite in self.plantsprites, sprite.watered is equal to false. That should be .sprites, I believe. And then we'll do for sprite in self.watersprites, sprite.kill, and that will kill the sprite. I think that should be .sprites as well. We'll see. All right, and now I need to create a new file that I'm going to call plant.py. I was going to put this in the same file here, but the plant.py file is going to get pretty long because it's going to have parameters for each specific plant, like the frames. So we have the images for each plant, and the harvest amount and things like that is going to vary per plant, and that's all going to go in the plant class. So we'll create a new file in sprites called plant.py. And for that, we will start by importing Pygame. From game, import config. And from game.support, this time we're going to import the tile sheet class that we made. So class plant will inherit from pygame.sprite.sprite. Init will take self, a plant type, groups, and soil. Then we'll do super.init, which will take groups. Self.plant type is equal to plant type. Self.soil is equal to soil. Self.watered by default is equal to false. And then self.crops is equal to a tile sheet. And I imported this image a couple videos ago. So that's at assets/items/crops.png. And that is 16 by 16 for the width and the height, and 37 rows, 6 columns. And by default, the self.harvest amount is going to be equal to 1. Then we'll do if self.plant type is equal to carrot, because I'm just starting with the carrot and the strawberry for now. And we'll do self.frames is equal to a list, and that's going to be pygame.transform.scale. And this is in our self.crops, which is our tile sheet. Where's that at? Items, crops. Let's zoom in a bit. So the carrot is this first one. So we want 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, and 5, 0. And then the strawberry is this third one. So 0, 1, or sorry, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. So let's close that, go back to plant.py. That's going to be self.crops.getTile 0, 0. And the size for the seeds is going to be 32 by 32 because making them 48 by 48 made them too big. But then for the rest of them, let's see, it was 5 images, I believe. 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. And the rest of them are going to be 48 by 48. So I'll change those. Oops. And here, 48 by 48. And this was 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, and 5, 0. All right. And then we'll do if self.plant type equals strawberry. Then we're going to set self.harvest amount equal to 2. I don't know if I'm going to have us harvest 2 for the strawberry. But I just want to test out that functionality. So I'm doing 1 for the carrot and 2 for the strawberries. And these were 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, and 5, 2. We got 32 by 32 for the seed, and then 48 by 48 for the plant. All right, and then we'll set self.age is equal to 0. Self.max age is equal to the length of self.frames minus 1. Self.grow speed, and these I need to put in config. So this is going to be config.grow speed, and then the plant type. So let me go to config.py and add our grow speeds. For now, I'm going to do the carrot as growing pretty quick. So we'll do carrot is equal to 1, and strawberry will be 0.8. All right, let's go back to plant.py. Self.harvestable is equal to false by default. It's not harvestable until it's fully grown. Self.image is equal to self.frames, self.age. Self.y offset is equal to -8. I believe this is from ClearCode's tutorial as well. I don't remember why I have the offset in there. but I'm going to leave it for now, and if it breaks anything, we'll take it out. Self.rect is equal to self.image.getRect. We're going to do mid bottom is equal to soil.rect.mid bottom plus pygame.math.vector2 and then 0 and self.y offset. And there's that pygame.math.vector2 again. I still haven't looked into what it does or how it works. I will eventually, I promise. Self.z is equal to config.farmlayers, and that's going to be ground plant. And that's that. Now we can create a grow function for our plant. I think I'm indented, right? Yep. So we'll put that right here. Grow. We'll just take self, and we're only going to grow if self.watered. So if self.watered, self.age plus equals self.grow speed. And if int self.age is greater than 1, then self.z is equal to config.farmlayers main. So the reason we do that is because the ground plant layer, do I have config open still? Ground plant is under main, so when the player walks over the things on that layer, they're just going to be walking on top of them. If it's in main, the player can walk in front of and behind them. So when it's a seed, it's just on the ground plant layer so the player can walk over them. And then once it's growing, it'll be on the main layer so we can be in front of or behind it. And then we're going to give it a hitbox. It is equal to self.rect.copy.inflate. And this is -26. And negative self.rect.height times 0.8. And I believe these values are from ClearCode's tutorial as well. And since I'm using different plant images and everything, I'm going to need to adjust them some. The hitboxes aren't quite right still. But this is what I'm going to leave it as for now, just to make sure we can get it running. Then we're going to check if self.age is greater than self.maxAge. And if that's the case, we're going to set self.age equal to self.maxAge and self.harvestable equal to true. Then we'll do self.image is equal to self.frames int self.age, and self.rect is equal to self.image.getRect mid bottom is equal to self.soil.rect.mid bottom plus pygame.math.vector2 0 self.y offset. All right, that is it for the plant class. Okay, so we can close plant.py and we'll go back to soil.py and we're going to add another function, and that is going to be plant seed, which will take self, a target pause, and a seed. For sprite in self.farmablesprites.sprites, if sprite.rect.collidePoint target pause if sprite.tilde, if not sprite.plant, then plant is equal to a plant. So we'll need to import that. The plant type is going to be seed. Groups are self.allSprites, self.plantSprites, and self.collisionSprites. And then the soil is going to be the sprite. And then we'll do sprite.plant is equal to the plant. If sprite.watered, then plant.watered is equal to true. And then we're going to return true. And we're going to go all the way out. And then we'll do return false. So basically, if the target pause collides with the sprite, if the sprite is tilde, then we'll plant a plant and return true. Otherwise, we're going to return false. And you'll see why that's useful when I set it up in player.py. Then we need update plants. We'll just take self. We're going to do for plant in self.plantsprites.sprites. Plant.grow. All right, that is all we need for the plant class and the soil class and the soil layer and everything. So now we need to pass the soil layer to the player. So we're going to go to player, which I thought I had open. I guess I didn't. Don't need inventory right now. There's player. And we're gonna, when we create the player, in init at the very end after zone, we're gonna add soil layer. And then we'll do self.soil layer is equal to soil layer. All right. And then when we create the player in farm.py, well, a couple things in farm.py actually. Up at the top, we're going to add a soil layer. So self.soil layer is equal to soil layer. It's going to take self.allSprites, self.collisionSprites, and self.farmablesprites. We'll import soil layer. And then when we create the player, down here somewhere, we will add self.soil layer to pass that into the player. And then we also create a player in farmhouse.py. So I need to pass in a soil layer there. And for tree sprites, I did none. I wonder, but I want it to update. So no, I better do self.gameManager.stateStack -1 dot soil layer. Because every time we enter the farmhouse, the last thing in the state stack will be the farm. So we'll just add that soil layer into the player when we create them. So that should work. All right, what else do we need to do? We got our plant class created. Let's see. There's a few things we're going to need to do in the player class. All right, so we're going to head over to player.py, And there's a few things that I want to do here. I added soil. Yep. Now we want to, let's see, we'll go down to update and not update, but transition. After self.sleep is equal to false, we need to do self.soil layer dot update plants, and then self.soil layer dot remove water. Okay. That will make the plants grow if they were watered, and then it will remove the water before the next game day. Then we'll set self.game.raining, which will determine if it's going to be raining in the next game day. All right, so we got that done. Now I'm going to go up to get status, and I'm going to copy this, paste it here, but we're going to do if self.timers seed use.active, then we're going to add sowing. That will hopefully get our sowing animation in there. Okay. Now I need the use seed function. So let's first go to input when we hit enter. So we have if the hotbar is 1, but how do we check if it's anything else, basically? We have selected hotbar. So let's do elif self.inventory.slots hotbar, and then string self.selected hotbar item. So if there's an item in the hotbar slot when we press enter, right? Because we will press enter. Yes, that should work. Then we'll check if that item is a seed. So let's copy this. And we'll do if self.inventory.slots hotbar string self.selected hotbar item dot item type is equal to seeds. So if the item we hit enter on is a seed, then we'll do self.timers seed use dot activate. And did I call it seed use or use seed? Let's check. When I do get status, where's get status at? Seed use there, and in timers it's seed use. Okay. So we'll activate the timer if we hit enter on a seed, and then we'll do self.use seed. And I'm going to pass in the seed that we're using. So that will be self.inventory.slots hotbar string self.selected hotbar item dot name. Or let's just pass the item in. And I need to make a couple changes to the code I had up in the timer. We're not going to call self.useSeed. We're just going to activate the timer. And then we'll call self.useSeed on our own down here, right there. And then in useSeed, we'll pass in a seed item Okay. And now we can work on the useSeed function. So we're going to do if self.soil layer dot plant seed, which will take self.target pause and seed item dot name. And remember, that's going to return either true if we're able to plant a seed or false if we're not. So if it returns true, then we need to remove the seed from our inventory. So let's see how to do that. We'll start by changing it in the hotbar. So that will be self.inventory.slots hotbar string self.selected hotbar amount minus equals 1. And then we'll copy that line. If that amount is equal to 0, then we're going to set that item equal to none. And then we need to do for I in range 128. So we're going to loop through the inventory slots. If self.inventory.slots inventory string I item. So if there's an item there, we're going to check if the item is the seed item. So we'll copy this. And then we'll do if self.inventory.slots inventory string I item dot name is equal to seed item dot name. And if it is, then we're going to do self.inventory.slots inventory string I amount minus equals 1. And if self.inventory.slots inventory amount is equal to 0, then self.inventory.slots inventory string I item is equal to none. All right, so that should be good for our useSeed functionality. So I think all that's left is to add our water and our hoe to our useTool function. So let's scroll down, I believe. Nope, up. There's useTool. We've got if the tool is the axe. So we'll do if self.selected tool is equal to the hoe. Then we're going to do self.soil layer dot till soil. And that will take self.target pause. And then if self.game.raining, so if it's raining, we'll do self.soil layer.water all. And finally, if self.selected tool is equal to water, we'll do self.soil layer.water soil, and that will take self.target pause. All right, I think that is everything except for the harvesting the plant, which we haven't gotten to yet. So let's go ahead and make sure we can plant things and that they grow. So I'll go ahead and till some soil, and this may take me a minute because my target pause is way, way off. 3 should be enough. We'll add these to the inventory, switch to the seeds, and use the seeds. Nope, we did something wrong. I misspelled mid-bottom. Line 44 in plant. Line 44, mid-bottom. All right, try this again. Now it's raining, so we should see the soil. Yep, get the water on it as soon as the soil tile is made. Now we'll get some seeds. Start with the carrots. Perfect, and that removed those from the inventory and from the hotbar. And then we'll plant strawberries, and now we have 2. And now we have 1. That's good. Now for the carrot, the speed is 1, so it should be the next frame. Perfect, it is. Our strawberries, the speed is 0.8, so it hasn't gotten to the next frame yet. It's still raining, so they're already watered. Now it's not raining, so I'll need to water them. So let's switch to my watering can and see if I can manipulate this to water each plant. And I'm colliding with them, I think. Yeah. Yep. Didn't water that bottom one. There we go. All right. I feel like the images are a bit small, but I don't want to make them bigger than 48 by 48 because that's the tile size. And there's our carrot, and our strawberry is almost ready. I don't think that's the complete frame for the strawberry. Let me water them. Guess I don't need to water the carrots, they're already grown. Now it's raining, and the frame hasn't changed. I'm just trying to see if there's another frame for the strawberry plant. Oh, what happened? Huh. Something must be wrong with my... That's happened to me a couple times in testing this. I'm not sure what exactly is causing it, but it's like it's taking us back to the previous state. So that's going to be in player and transition. We do new state.enter state. And then when we go to transition, or no, player, we collide with the exit farmhouse. We zone into the farm. But what if instead we do self dot, oh no, because it's not the transition, it's the exit farmhouse. So are we creating farmhouse on, because I think I could do exit state if I have access to the farmhouse, if I create it as a part of a game manager, but where do I create it? Here. And zone is in game. Yeah, so I don't want to use this game manager.statestack.pop. So what I'll do instead is I'll do self.gamemanager.farmhouse is equal to farmhouse. And then we'll do self.gamemanager.farmhouse.enterState. And then we'll do self.gamemanager.farmhouse.exitState. I think that'll fix it. Maybe. I guess I'm not really sure how to test it because I'm not really sure what's causing it to happen. We'll transition the day. Transition the day. And if I fixed it by changing those lines of code, I could do this forever and nothing would happen. So I'm not going to spend hours on it. Let me look at that last sprite for the strawberry because I'm not in love with it. No, I don't think it was. I think we were on this one. Okay, that's all right. I like that last one on there. So now I need a way to harvest the plant. So that will go in player.py, I believe. Actually, in my old code, I put it in farm. But I think it should be in player. But does player have access to the farmable sprites? Where's player? There we go. It does not. But it has access to game. So I could do self.game.gamemanager.farm.farmable sprite. That's a lot of... I feel like that's not the best way to do it. Let's try that for now, though. Actually, we'll do if actions enter. No, we still need the farmable sprites. What does my add function look like? That's in game, I believe. Game is somewhere. There it is. Player add. Type item image amount. Do I have the images for the strawberry and the carrot? I thought I did. And items. There they are. Okay. How should I do this? I'm gonna put the image inside of plant. So let's start with that. So we'll do self.crop images is equal to a tile sheet. That's assets slash pause slash, what was it, items? Items dot PNG. It is 16 by 16. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows. 10 columns, 9 rows. So rows is first and then 10 for calls. Okay. And then if it's the caret, we'll do self.crop image or harvest image is equal to pygame.transform.scale self.crop images.getTile. I believe it was 0, 0 for the caret. Yep, and then 0, 1, 2, 2, 0 for the strawberry. And how big did I make them for the wood when we add it to the inventory? That's in sprites.py. 48 by 48, that's what I thought. So here we'll do 48 by 48. That's for the caret. And then if it's strawberry, self.harvest image is going to be 2, 0. Okay, so now we can pass an image into player add. Let's go ahead and just put it in player for now. Where's player? There we go. No. Let's see. All right, I'm going to put it in game, I think, because then I can put it. Yeah, that's how I'll do it. So we'll go to game.py, create a new function that we'll call harvest, which will take self and actions. And then if actions enter for sprite in self.gamemanager.farm.farmable_sprites.sprites, if sprite.plant, so if there's a plant there, if sprite.plant.harvestable, so if it's ready to be harvested, and sprite.plant.collideRect player self.player. Does game have a reference to player? I believe it does. Do we not? We do. We give game manager a reference to game, and player has a reference to game. But does game have a reference to player? It does. Self.player. Yeah, when we create the player, we do that. So self.player.hitbox. So if it's harvestable and we collide with it when we hit enter, we'll do sprite.plant.kill. And then we'll do self.player add is in this file as well, right? Yep. Self.player add, and that's going to take the type, which is, let's do this after. We'll do the kill after we add it, just in case that messes anything up. So we'll put that here. So sprite.plant.plant type, and then we need, oh no. If we're harvesting something, the type is crops. And then we want sprite.plant.plant type for the item. And then we want sprite.plant.plant image. Is that what I called it? Harvest image. And then we need an amount. And that will be that'll be sprite.plant.harvest amount. And then we'll do sprite.kill. And then we'll do sprite.plant is equal to false. So let's see if that works. We should add 2 carrots to the inventory when we harvest them. Or no, 1 carrot and 2 strawberries. Oh, come on. This is really bad. Okay. So we'll plant our strawberries there, and we'll plant our carrots there, maybe. Come on. There we go. I'm glad I've got the raining chance so high so I don't have to water them every day. All right, they're growing. Not quite ready yet for the carrot. There we go. So we'll go down here and hit enter. Nope, nothing is happening. Oh, you know what? I gotta do all this over again. I need to call harvest in my game loop. Or an update. I guess I'll put it in the game loop. That seems like overkill though. Maybe I should have put this in farm. Let me move this to farm. Does farm have a reference to game? Has a reference to game manager. Okay, so let me go back to, let's close all this. Let's take harvest and put it in farm. And then for sprite and self.game-manager, so this will just be for sprite and self.farmable sprites. And then farm have a player. It does, right? When we create the player, we do self.player. Okay. So self.player can stay the same. Then this needs to be self.game-manager.game.player add. Okay. All right, let's try that again. Let's add the seeds to our hotbar. Switch to the seeds and go to bed. I'm just going to wait a few days since it's probably going to be raining. All right, let's see what that does. Our carrot's ready, our strawberry is not. And I'm hitting enter and nothing is happening. Did I forget to call it again? I did. Oh my God. Let's put this above if self.raining. And we'll do self.harvest. And that will take self.game.manager.game.actions. Nope, game manager.actions. Oh, all right. Third time's a charm. We're just going to plant a couple things and then just give it a few days. And see where that leaves us. Okay, several days have passed. It's raining and they're both ready to harvest. And we broke it. Plant has no attribute collide rect. So sprite.plant.rect, maybe? Try again. Let several days pass. Okay, let's check on our plants. We harvested a carrot. We've got 1 carrot in our inventory. We've harvested the strawberry and we have 2 strawberries in our inventory. That is perfect. We can add them to the hotbar. We can remove them from the hotbar. Oh, but our seeds. Why do we have more seeds? It looks like, excuse me, it added a carrot seed and 2 strawberry seeds to the inventory when we added the crops. All right, fixing that bug is what I will work on in the next video because this one's getting pretty long. So I got the planting things down, the rain, tilling the soil, and almost harvesting the plants. So that's it for today. Feel free to like and comment on the video if you enjoyed it or found it helpful, and subscribe to my channel to stay updated on my game progress. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.